Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Bunkovi here for MMOBomb.com, and welcome to another first impression gameplay video. Today we're taking a look at Gameglobe up here, as you can see, which is a new 3D browser-based MMO published by Bigpoint in conjunction with Square Enix. Now, this game is really hard to describe in just a few sentences, so we'll probably spend a good amount of time, 15-20 minutes or so, checking the game out, making the usual commentary. So what exactly is Gameglobe? Well, to summarize it, if you guys have ever played games like Roblox, or if you ever played the game Little Big Planet, it is essentially that. And what I mean by that is it is a platforming game, in this case a third-person perspective platformer, but all the platformers, all the levels, etc., all the environments are usually created by the community. So you can actually create your own custom levels, add in NPCs, events, etc., and make these really cool and crazy levels for people to enjoy and try out and vote on, say which ones they like the best, etc. And it really allows for a lot of community-driven content to be created. A Little Big Planet, if you guys have ever played that, is a 2D platformer which has the same principle in that you can create these levels and then share them with friends. And Gameglobe aims to do that, but from a third-person perspective. Now you can actually change it to be a little bit different. You can make it a side-scroller, etc. But for the most part, it is a third-person perspective, kind of behind the character, and you move through these environments. Now you're seeing up here these different little levels being advertised. These are all different levels that either players have created or the developers have created. And the game really gives you a lot of tools to make the levels how you want. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of the customization options, etc. How you would go about actually making your own character. As you can see, I have my character decked out here in all kinds of crazy gear. And then how you create a level, and then we can go ahead and jump into a level so you can see what a fully professional level looks like once you actually get good at the game. So the customization features, as you can see here, you can have the male and female customizations. In this case, I have male chosen as my main avatar here, and you get little hats, etc., that you can actually unlock and put on your character. Now these are all unlocked with gold. Gold seems to be the primary currency in the game, and as you unlock these things, your experience bar will actually increase. So even as you unlock even cosmetic things, your experience bar increases, and when you reach a new level, you actually get bonuses. So you get more gold to spend, etc. So I could change my top, for example, go for a different top here and spin that, and as you can see, once I spent that gold, it then increases my experience level. So you can create your avatar, etc. And it's actually kind of interesting that you can change your avatar's looks without actually having to buy the gold. Now, of course, you can increase this, I believe, by buying it with real money. If I click this, I'm pretty sure that's what it would actually allow me to do. But that is not the main ability, or that's not the main way to get gold rather than by buying it. You could actually just get it by experience level or just by participating in the levels within the game. So let's go ahead and show you the creation aspect of it. So we're going to go ahead and create a new level here. I already attempted to create a level earlier. We're going to go ahead and just delete that level because it was not worthy of anything to show you guys. But I'll go ahead and show you this. So the first thing that you'll do is you would select your tile sets. Now these can be unlocked getting up to level 23, up to level 13 automatically. Or you can unlock them earlier just by purchasing them with the coins. You'll see that they're all different shapes and sizes, and not one of them is not necessarily better than the other one. It's just depending on the scope and what you actually want to do. Some levels, for example, this level here is very small, but can escalate very high up into the air. So let's go with a medium-sized map here, and as you can see, we're going to load into the game. Now, the reason I actually am recording my entire desktop is because we quickly switch in and out of the different views, the different windows, and Fraps tends to have a hard time actually recording when you're just recording in the window. So we're just going to record outside of this, etc. Now, I can make this full screen by hitting F12. And as you can see, now we're in full screen mode. And I have to say, the graphics themselves, if you can check out my avatar here, this is really nice graphics for a browser game. I mean, I am genuinely impressed by the level of fidelity, both in the graphics and in the textures. This is really well done. But to begin with here, as you can see, we're kind of in this barren wasteland area, nothing really to do here. But if you see up there, it says F2 shape. So if I hit that button here, it gives me this little ability to have this little toggle here. And I can toggle all the way out so you can see the entire map here. And what I can do here is I can do a small deformation here where I can kind of make the ground go up a little higher. But, we can do a little bit more drastic stuff by switching over to this one by hitting Q and E. And this does a little bit more, kind of more drastic, and then we go to this, which actually adds kind of like this circular area here, which as you can see I can make these full, squiggly lines all over the place, and then we can make them square, or I could even make them cylinder. So you can really create the landscape at first, kind of make this area look how you want it to. And if I hit R and F, I can actually, put it up in the air as well. So you can create these platforms in the air and really make this a platform. This is by all means a platform style game. So now that I have this awkwardly placed little thing up in the air here, not that bad at all, I can go ahead and switch my view. Hitting control, I'm able to rotate around. You can see where my character is now. So now I've created this here, I can put a little bit more up here and make it a little bit different, and then I can move on to paint. So if I move on to paint here, you can paint different style of textures, etc. to be on the top. You can have things like, I want grass, so you can kind of, as you can see, paint grass in. I can zoom in by hitting my scroll wheel, and so you can paint these textures, and you can paint this foliage in, which is really cool. The ability to create all this texture, all this different rock deformation, etc. It's quite a unique aspect, and you unlock more of these over time by purchasing them with the gold. So that is kind of like your investment. The longer time you spend in the game, the more different textures and items that you can unlock. Now, beyond adding things like foliage, etc. here, let's go ahead and go back down to my earth. I'll put a little green patch underneath my guy here. Now, beyond doing these things, what else you can do? There we go, little island for him down there. What else you can do is put props. So if I hit F4 here, we get to our prop area. Now, I don't have very many props unlocked here. One of the the main things you get from the get-go would be like a palm tree, so I can add some palm trees around my guy, and a foliage of palm trees all around. So you can add a bunch of palm trees, and then this thing right here is basically like an area. It's like a checkpoint or the end goal. Once you reach this area, you've won your level essentially. So this is wherever you want your level to end. This is where you place this, and once your character gets there, he wins the level. Now beyond this, we have way more items to choose from. If we get tab here, I can actually bring that up to show you guys. So these are our used props. And then these are the gameplay aspects things. So these are things that trigger gameplay aspects, like if you want something to rotate, if you want the cameras to change, you can have the camera be in a fixed position if you want it like side, or you can have it follow a player, etc. So you can set up the sound effects, the visual effects. There's a lot of different things. Even text, you can have text come up on the screen at certain points. So it really gives you all the mechanics you need necessary to create a level of your dreams, create exactly what you would love to see in a platformer. And I really think that's really awesome. Now, if we skip forward here, we can see some of the more basic props here. We can have wildlife, things like schools of fish, seagulls, water. You can have waterfalls, fuses, signs, and then these as well. Now, these are kind of like score points that you can use to kind of accrue or generate some kind of scoring mechanism in your game. Past this, we even have things like pirate buildings. So you have individual parts of buildings here, warehouses, sides of buildings, gates, etc. Small chimney pipes, even ships you can put out to sea to kind of create an atmosphere. You really have a lot of things to work with here. And it goes, colonial as well. Currently, there's pirate, colonial, and jungle being the some of the main style of tile sets available to you. Now, you do have to unlock all these over time, but once they unlock permanently. As you can see, I unlocked a door cover and a chimney add-on, albeit I don't have any buildings really. I have this building here I can actually use, but once you unlock it, you do get it permanently, so you don't have to worry about unlocking it again. So if we go ahead and shift this down here, as you can see, we can go ahead and put this on top of our little island in the air, this little building here. So we can come around here and make sure it lines up. There's no really, I don't see a tool to kind of snap, or maybe I can drop prop. Oh, okay, so I can drop the prop if I wanted to, in order to move away and kind of see it better. So you can really create kind of like these environments or these towns for your guy to move through. So let's go ahead and try to adjust this just right here. Go ahead and bam. And now if we look at, we can actually even use the spacebar to kind of shift this around. I can shift at different angles so you guys can see it differently. But if we're going to drop the prop here, it can use control, and now you see there's this building here. So we kind of created this island in the sky with this building up above it. So you really have a lot of options here as far as what you want to do in terms of creating what your level looks like, how it functions, even the lighting. If we hit F6 here, if you actually look at that, I can change what time of daytime. I can make it mysterious fog. I can change it to be like red dust. So you get all these options to actually create the level of your dreams, create how you want it to look like and how it acts. You can even do things such as, color correction. You can make it old moon. You can really give it a sense of darkness or brightness. I can turn down the brightness, make it more dusk. I can even change the side that the sun's on. So you get all these options here. You even change the water type if you actually add water here, and even the water level. So I can add my water to make it more of a little bit of an ocean style of view here. Now, if I wanted to actually go to my character, I can hit F5 here and go back to my character, so then you can actually see the environment. So now I'm kind of wading through the water here, and all of a sudden there's this giant little island in the sky above me here. So you really get a sense of how the level looks from your player's perspective here. Now, you can turn prop collision off and on, and you can even play test it by hitting F10. Now, we're not going to go ahead and play test it right here because I am terrible at creating worlds right now. I don't have anything unlocked, and I would not want to unleash this upon the world. But let's go ahead and exit out of this view right here. So now that you guys get a sense of what the level editor looks like, you can enter a title, as you can see. Once you've entered a title down here, you can enter a description, you can save it, and then you can push it out into the world. You can even add things like music to kind of create an ambiance, take a screenshot to show to friends, and then share it with all your friends in the game as well. Even write a comment down here below if you guys want to give tips or tricks, to players who want to try out your level. So beyond this, let's go ahead and actually look at a fully fleshed out level now that we've had enough time dicking around in this little editor, and see what other people who have actually had time to create a good level have made. So let's go ahead and come back down here. I did not mean to do that. Let's go back to the main page here. So as you can see, these are the different ones showcased right now. And one of the ones that I saw that I think would be really cool to show off to you guys would probably be this one right here, which is Easy Fly, you fools. Alright, so it's got a lot of likes. As you can see how many people have liked the game, how many people are enjoying it, and you can go ahead and try it out yourself. So why don't we go ahead and try this. I'm just going to go ahead and click this one here. It is trending. We can all see the most played this week, most liked this week. So you really aren't subjugated to try out everything. There is a ranking system in the game in order for you. Oh God! Alright, automatically I died here. So I can see I was not waiting for that. Let's go ahead and click R to restart here and try this again. Oh, I gotta run away. So this reminds me a lot of actually Crash Bandicoot, if you guys remember that from the PlayStation 1. And I'm already dead. I'm already dead. I'm already crushed dead. So if you look at the top left-hand side of the screen, you'll get your experience bar, not experience bar, you'll get your score as well as your life. Certain things in the game obviously will kill you instantly, while other things in the game will just take away health. There is combat mechanics in the game available, and I am terrible at this. There are combat mechanics in the game where you can basically right-click to punch, and I'm terrible at jumping platforms. I'm going off the map apparently. I don't think the game meant for me to do this. Alright, now we're back in the map. I'm getting crushed. No. Alright, let's go to a different area right here. Apparently, I'm terrible at that. I need to go back to PlayStation 1 in order for me to get better at that. But, you can see here, this is a Climb the Tetris game. So this is an entirely different style of map using the same editor, as you can see. But now we're working with kind of like this 2D view where... Oh, God, come on, don't... Let's go ahead and climb up this. I'm going to climb. I can't climb yet. Come on. Alright, there's double jump. You can double jump. Alright, so now we're up there. This is actually pretty cool, as you can see. Collecting these points as we go here. Watching out for what's coming down below us. It's coming down here. It even tells you what parts are coming down next, so you do have to watch out for those as well. Oh, no! Don't crush me! Dang it. Alright. So there's a lot of cool maps to work with, a lot of cool things that people have created with different music, different environments. And so you really get a sense of, what level of detail this map creator, this map editor can really work with you. So let's see, let's go to a normal, third-person style map. So let's go to this one right here, which is called Dystropia. Find the hidden secrets of the dangerous jungle and collect and score points. Awesome. So in terms of, its footprint size, it doesn't require a lot to download. There's a couple of megabytes, I believe, it downloads per map, and oh, this map looks really crazy here. But as you can see, there is a chest right there I want, but I can break through this. As you can see, you can break through the little destructible environment and pick that up. There are different things you can pick up in the environment. You can pick up weapons if it is that style of map. You can even, destroy different things, boxes, etc. to get points. And at the end of each round, you get, these little gold coins that you can then spend on, additional prop items or things for your own maps, or just spend on cosmetic items like I have myself. So now that we're in this area here, we can kind of look around. I can jump down here, get some more, and there's something to interact with. I can grab this, Once I grab this, as you can see, it pulls these little levers out, allowing me to jump on these platforms. So there's a lot of intricacy. There's a lot of different stuff available to players to actually customize, and the game encourages players, really encourages players to, you know, go crazy and make the kind of level they've always dreamed of. And oh, what's going on? Timed events. I hate timed events. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump up here. I have no idea what timed event I am missing, but unfortunately it looks like I'm probably not. Maybe it was that. Let's go ahead and jump down here. I am terrible at these platforming games, guys. Alright, but as you can see, you can come back up here, get back to the top of the map, maybe? I don't know. This thing appears to be broken. Maybe I can use that to jump around. I don't know. Let's come back over here real quickly, see what we can find out. Now, the problem with, you know, trying to show you guys these levels as we go is the fact that these are meant to be a platformer, kind of like puzzle style games. And with that in mind, you really have to play it, you know, and kind of explore and figure out how to play the level. And doing that live can be pretty tricky for this style of game. But alright, we'll come over here, get back up here really quickly, and hopefully make our way across this time. Now I can double jump just by hitting this, as you can see. I can also right click to attack, and that modifies my attack if I have a weapon in my hand. So let's go ahead and double jump over here. Got to make sure to double jump. What would a platformer game be without double jump, guys? Alright, so let's go ahead. We're over here now. What's in this area? So I can actually right click here, I believe, yeah, left click rather, to go into these buildings here. And inside these buildings there are more for me to explore. Ah, chest here. Alright, let's go ahead and open this chest up, get some more points. And then I believe I can actually hold this as well. And, ooh, opens up a new door. Oh, I want that chest. Give me that. Don't let me die. I live. Alright. Can I break this? I can. Awesome. So you can break different things. Not everything is destructible, but, you know, whoever created the map does actually give you that freedom, or does give you that freedom if they necessary. Now let's come down here. We got some colonial guys to actually attack. Oh, he just totally shot me. Come here. Get out of the way. So you can right click, and if they drop a gun like they've done there, I can actually pick that up and use that to fire on guy. Boom! So it gives you a nice little handy reticule that you can use to make sure that you're aiming correctly. We can go ahead and move on. So now you can see it says temple there, and we can move on to the next area. What is this over here? It looks like I need some kind of key. Alright, so let's come back up here. Look for some kind of key for us to use. Maybe I can use this to shoot that down. There we go. What's over here? Ah, there's the key. So now I've collected the key, as you can see there. Now I think you can cycle through these, but I'm not really sure how you can cycle through that. However, with the key, you can just move up to the desk, and as you can see, or not the desk, the wall, and go ahead and open that up. Alright, so let's come on here further. Ah, so hitting tab allows me to cycle, so I'm able to cycle through my different weapons if I want to. And it's nice that you can actually grab different weapons and have them available. Alright, so now that I've done that, his weapon flew away, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to collect a new gun. But let's go ahead and come up here and pull the golden lever. Alright, so that door is now open. And I can right click to skip that if I want here. But as you can see, this is all... Whoa! Okay, was not expecting that. Got thrown into the spikes. No! But as you can see, these levels are fairly intricate and very large levels for players to actually explore in. You know, and if you have time, if you're someone who loves creating different style of things like this, then I would highly suggest checking the game out and trying it for yourself. I myself am not a huge creator. I'm pretty bad at things like this. But the simple fact that you're given this style of control is fairly impressive. Alright, I've already pulled that down. Alright, now it's opening back up. It's really impressive to have this level of control in a game, especially in a browser game. To be able to do all of this in the browser with such level of graphics and fidelity. I really think this is going to be one of those kind of sleeper hits where, you know, the fans of this game are really enjoying it, and people who haven't heard of it are going to miss out. Alright, so I did pull that. Can I go this way? Yes. So I'm not going to explore that temple over there. I am afraid of the booby traps. Maybe we can skirt around it real quickly and see what's behind it. You can make these levels as hard or as easy as you want. We've seen all different types of levels with different purposes. You know, certain levels are more for the adventure platform style like this, while other levels are definitely more in terms of just being silly or interesting for you to explore. You know, you're given the choice of how you want this level or how you want your environment to actually function, which is quite nice. I really like having that level of control. All right, so I've done that. What else here? Can I get up this? Can I break this? Maybe the whole purpose is to get to that point. Alright, so now that I've done that, let's go ahead and come back down the tunnel here. Maybe we can find where that opened up, and I can find it into a different area. Ah, so if we come over here, we got some chests. go ahead and bring those up. And as you can see, now we have a spear. Here's a tip and a spear with it. Alright, let's go ahead and pull that down and wada bam. There we go. We're making our way in there. Alright, so let's come back over here. Now, my guy himself, he's got this cool little pilot's helmet on, along with it, some large amounts of guns. Not guns, but bullets strapped to his chest. So let's see, did I make it? Holy God, what's happening here? Is the door closing up? Is this a booby trap? I guess we'll find out. What? I'm really scared to even like getting on the ground. I got that. Alright, so now what? If I step on this, will it open up the door for me? Open the door? Now can I get through? Yes! I've gotten through. Alright, now what? Did I win? What's going on here? I'm on fire. Okay, so don't step on that. Now how do I get out of this? Is that a door? Yeah, it is a door. Alright, so let's go through there. Going through the next door here, and I've already got 103,000 points, guys. That's so many points. Holy crap. Alright, so can I break through this? There we go. So get through all that. And I like it's got some physics to it. I like, you know, you can pick up little objects as well. I didn't notice earlier in one of the other levels, I actually had to pick up a cog and then place it into a gear mechanism so that I could disable a certain mechanism so I can progress. So they do have these kind of physics-based puzzles, you know, much like a lot of platform games have nowadays. And I really like the fact that they've really gone through the great lengths of giving you all the tools. You know, every time I think of, hey man, it'd be really cool if they had this, they have that mechanic in this game, which is pretty awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and kill these guys. You don't know my skills? Look at this. I got this rainbow style staff. Look at me. Assassin's Creed all the way. Alright, so let's see. Let's go ahead and pull this lever. See what happens here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up a gun as well. So it said some levers are dangerous. This lever apparently killed little pirate dude. So what's going down here? Alright, I feel like this may be a booby trap. Let's go ahead. I don't want to use that. I don't want to waste my ammo. Ammo is scarce. Go ahead and pick up all these little points here. Alrighty here. And oh, giant key. So now I've got myself a key. I can go ahead and open this up. Bam! I got 35 seconds. How do I get up there? Oh God. How do I, what? How do I want to get up. There's the key. What am I missing? Oh God, I gotta come up here. Okay. There we go. So sometimes the camera can be a little bit weird, but you know that a lot of that is due to the programmer. Whoever created the level, you know, does have to make sure that they do compensate for that either in level design or just simply in, okay, let's see. Am I over there? All right, let's put the key in. Yeah. All right. So now with the key in, I should be able to open this door. There we go. But you know, that's why you're given all these different types of cameras, so you can actually choose whichever camera works best for you. So this level has gone on for quite some time, and this is again a user-created level, which is incredibly detailed. And holy crap! All of a sudden, I'm not in the jungle anymore. I am in space. Let's go ahead and come through here. I am in like a fractal area, time-space continuum. No! I fell down! No! I'm gonna fall to my death! Oh! Alright, 30 seconds. Let's do this again. Let's come through here real quickly. Alright, I gotta remember to double jump, guys. Double jump all the way. What does it mean to double jump like this? Oh, man. Is this the end? What is this? We gotta find out what the end of this... We gotta finish this level, guys. Come on. Alright, so we're going to pull this up. Making our way down, and that looks like an interesting area. So how do I get down there? Do I just drop down? Not really sure how to get there. Is it on the back side? Oh God, continue. Oh. So it looks like I ran out of time. It was like I finalized. So I could continue if I want by paying 1 coin, or I can continue from the beginning by hitting play again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end it there for now, guys. This is a pretty good game, I'd have to say, if you really enjoy being creative. If you're a fan of Minecraft or Little Big Planet, I would say don't even hesitate picking this game up. This game is already in open beta, you know, free to play for everyone, and I highly suggest checking it out if you're a fan of the style of gameplay and if you're a fan of just creating stuff. This game gives you all kinds of options to create stuff, and there's a good community behind it. As you can see, there's guide area, there's also a forum area that you can talk about creating and bugs or things that you've run into. So I'd highly recommend checking this out. Look, it even has a leaderboard down here for this particular map, which is crazy, you know, to have leaderboards for your own map. Highly suggest checking it out, guys. I can't give it more praise. definitely one of the more interesting free-to-play browser games as well, available for 2012 and just available in general. This has really pushed browser games to a new level, I'd have to say. Definitely check it out. Gameglobe, A+ for me, but this has been my first impression. I've been Spunkify, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Spunkify out!